Real music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage.
It's the Eminem on 8 Mile.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go on and get after it and get ahead of it, and you can't use it against me no
yeah,
more.
because if I own it, then I own
Yeah,
it.
it's
And then now
mine.
what?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm a brown skinned girl. I'm chunky. My teeth getting straight now. I just
Yeah.
paid my grill off.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
God. But I was buck tooth for a minute, all the stuff, but I really let nothing stop me. I
Right.
felt, and I always feel prolific on the microphone.
Yeah.
So that was like my confidence
Yeah.
booster.
And that and music itself or the arts is like a metaverse within itself. The people that don't have that talent are able to express themselves in that way. You don't know when you in that world, you creating your own shit when you there. That's why artists love to perform and shit, because it's like
Yeah.
when I'm here, I'm not nowhere else. I'm damn near not myself. You know what I'm saying? You
For
just
real.
get into that zone. One of my favorite bars of yours is, and we can get into that later, but I like my weed. I think something that young girls need to hear. One of the most powerful things you said is don't let me fuck this up. I'm paraphrasing, but I told myself what I'd be like when I had self-esteem.
Yeah, I told myself that it'd be over if
When
I
I
had
got-
self-esteem.
Oh, my
now
God.
I got it.
I wish
real.
because to me the inspiration in that is it's not impossible. It's gonna happen. You got so many young kids killing themselves, so many kids depressed. The music is depressed.
Yeah. yeah.
And I feel like where the generation you from, nobody made excuses for you. So no matter what you was going through, you just had to be tough as shit.
Oh, for sure.
There was no it was oh, you tripping off they saying that about you? What? You know what I'm saying?
I'm learning to be soft. I'm learning to I was just talking to one of my good friends yesterday about that. I was like, when you first met me, I was so scared. And really that was the root of everything. Especially the generation I come from, everything is, it's cool, it's regular.
Right.
It's, it ain't nothing. But it is something though.
Yeah.
And all of that is just fear. You be scared to be yourself. You be scared to be excited about something because you feel like it's going to get snatched or robbed or whatever. You scared to be juiced. I was scared to sing. I didn't sing in school up until OSA. Kids knew about me singing in church.
Okay.
From church, but, I didn't sing because I
Right.
was like, if somebody say I can't sing, I'm not going to sing no more. So it's that,
Yeah.
I'm just now being nah, everything is a root. Even I was talking to my mom and we was talking about something and, I was like, Ma, but the root is your feelings is hurt. Our feelings get hurt. So we be like, but really it's that really hurt my feelings. That's why I'm
Right.
acting like that.
Right.
So, just getting more into that for sure.
When you got out of high school, what was the next step for you musically? What did you do?
I worked at Securitize.
Okay.
I worked, shout out Vacaville facility, and then I worked in Richmond, and I did grave shift, and I hated that job, but thinking back on it, it taught me humility. And I used to have to they were honestly abusing their power on me, but they was making me do stuff
Of course.
but they was, making me they'll tell me you got to go kick them homeless people out or kick them drug addicts out the hospital lobby. And
Yeah.
I never did that. I always would hear them out to where, I get them an extra little juice just to scram,
Yeah, yeah.
but they all respected me.
Right.
So that was, one of the things I loved was I had the community, and I love the grit and the grimy. Some people be scared to touch things that look dirty and ugly and whatever. So, I embrace those people. So I think that's why I feel that's why God had me there. But I wasn't doing that like that. I was doing Securitize. I went to Laney for a minute, then I dropped out. And then I had lied about it for like a year. So I was getting up every
That's so
day.
that's the regular.
I was getting up every day like, Mom, can you take me to school? And I was just honestly like, if I could get studio time, she would take me to school, drop me off, and then I like sit there for a minute, go to the library or whatever, and then like see where I could go and record.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, like, and you know it's so funny that like when you doing this, everything seems so far away, but like when you get to your shit, it makes so much sense.
For real, for real. I at the time too, I was doing a lot of music with Adrian, and you know, we ended up getting a chance to go to Atlanta, and that was maybe about a year or two after me getting fired from Securitas, and yeah, that was a different experience, but I loved it.
Yeah.
You know, I loved it. It taught me so much about the business. I met so many people.
So I mean, so
You know,
let's go.
there.
How does this happen? So Adrian hit you like, "Hey, let's go to Atlanta," or like, how does that even happen? You know, you guys are not long out of high school.
Yeah.
You know, y'all very young. Does he get an opportunity first?
He did. So
Okay.
he graduated first. He graduated a year before me.
Okay.
And so he was out there just hustling, doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had like picked him up first.
Okay.
And, you know, him and I were writing. So I was writing. It was crazy because at the time I was writing all his stuff and he was really writing all my stuff.
Okay.
So, you know, our manager at the time, he was like really not feeling me, but Adrian kept pushing it like, nah, bro, you gotta like, you know. So Adrian went out there first for like 2 weeks, and then he gave me our manager's number, and I was just sending him. I didn't even have no like equipment.
Okay.
I was just like doing voice. I would literally have my granny phone and my phone and just the computer, and just be like singing, doing
Yeah.
all of the shit. So. I went out there maybe 2 weeks after that because our manager at the time really didn't have nobody to write for him.
Right.
So we went out there for 4 years. We was just getting it. We wrote with people. We worked with a lot of people. And he built himself up. He got signed with Universal as an artist. And I think that was just my grace period of learning and studying and being a fly on the wall a lot of times because a lot of people didn't notice me because I was so shy. And yeah, I just soaked up game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's super dope. Like you, for artists, how is that feeling of like you guys got a manager, right? And coming, I always say this. I talk to people about this a lot. We don't have those. We don't have A&Rs. We don't have many executives. And then when I ask about executives, it's always somebody with a career that was so old, like you don't even know what the fuck is going on. So, like, to have a manager even, right, without a lot of business to manage, and then for somebody to say that, or for you to know, not say what they're not feeling you. Like, how is that? Because that when you're in the situation, that seems like it's bigger than what it is. Like, what you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you ain't feeling, is anybody gonna feel me, or should I try to move on somewhere else, or like, you know, you could be stuck in between. But how is that situation when you in it?
You know what's so crazy is I always found out after the fact. So nobody was ever like bold enough to say they wasn't feeling me.
Right,
you know?
right.
I would just find out, oh, he wasn't really rocking with you like that in the beginning. Oh, okay, cool. You know, and then.
But what did you find out later? Was it as an artist? Or was it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So not rocking with you as an artist, but liked your writing.
He didn't even really like me as a writer. Well, because
Wow.
I think he didn't know who was writing what, and at the time
Okay.
he thought the songs were trash.
Okay.
So you know, I think once he started really kind of seeing my pen and hearing what I could do, I think that's when he kind of saw, man, she got something for real. I don't know if he even still all the way believed how I believe in me, but he believed in something though, for sure.
When you was in Atlanta outside of Adrian, did you get any placements while y'all was out there writing?
My first major placement outside of Adrian was Kelly Rowland.
And is this the story attached to Kelly Rowland that you made her cry?
I think I did. I
Yeah.
She's sweet. She really is
Yeah.
sweet. I do remember the engineer at the studio. He called me on like some like real low vibes. He was like, "Hey, don't say nothing because I could get fired." But Kelly came back in here just to listen to your song, and she's just playing it on repeat. So I was just like, wow. So maybe shortly after that, they sent me the record, and I was just like, wow, I can't believe it. Like, Destiny's Child was like one of my favorite groups ever. So
Wow.
that was just like, wow, you know. And then she called me on the day the album dropped, and
That's
you
fire.
know, she's so graceful. Even years later, you know, when I seen her at the Essence Fest, she, you know, stopped everything just to be like, Jane, I rock with you. So,
That's super
you know, she
dope.
was really cool. She was
Yeah.
really cool. And then Kiki Palmer, that's like one of my best friends, but I met her out there
Okay.
working with Bangladesh.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, I met a lot of people.
Yeah, that's dope. And so, what was the reception? Because at this time, you still not putting yourself out there as an artist, really, right? Are you teetering, straddling the fence a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like image wise, I didn't know where I really wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that always held me back because I was a bigger girl. I was like maybe 150 pounds bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody ever really was like looking at me other than what I could write.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it was kind of messed up thinking about it, you know, thinking back, because everybody was just like, just write. You could. But I wasn't good. I wasn't healthy. My lupus was out of control. Like I was getting so many flares. I was going to the hospital so much in Atlanta. You know, I wasn't healthy. I was going blind. I went blind out there. So, you know, I wasn't good. But I think people was so focused on just what I could write, they didn't see nothing else.
Right.
So when I came back here, I moved back maybe 2016. That's when I really like got myself together. I moved with my grandmother, and my uncle, he taught me how to record myself. And man, I locked back in with him, told him everything that I was going through, because I didn't tell nobody how rough it was.
Right.
And then we just built it from just the ground up. My image, my everything. I stopped eating certain things. I went vegan for a minute. Yeah, I just really turned my life around.
I asked La Rue about going vegan before, and he was saying, and I don't know if this was your experience. Did you feel like you was getting too small too fast?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
it's
lost
like-
weight quickly.
It happens like and even your face start looking different. Like you really look different. Like
Yeah.
so he was like, "Nah, I was getting scared. Like nigga, they thought I was on dope. Like, but
No, for real.
but he was just explaining and how he got weaker for a while too. Like just as far as strength and so. But your vegan journey was pretty straight though. Did you feel better?
Yeah, I stopped having lupus flare ups.
Wow.
And just all of that. It wasn't until recently I had one, but I think it was just stress and me moving around so much. But yeah, I really started watching what I ate and what I drank. You know, I would drink lots of water, cut a lot of juice and soda out, and that really, really helped me, you know. And then just my friends was here. I ended up switching churches. Shout out Providence. That's my church now. I still go there when I'm in town. I'm still singing on Sundays.
Yeah.
You know, they really nurtured me.
Okay.
And spiritually, I think me coming back, I needed it for me. Aside from music, I needed it for my life.
Did in the process of going through this journey and like being in high school and after high school, like what was sometimes being unhealthy or either because being unhealthy or going through certain things, you could be mentally exhausted or mentally
Yeah.
unhealthy. What was it like for you as far as like dating? What was Jane doing? Like, was you able to do it, or was you in your own head, or was you too much of a musician? Like, how was it for you?
I always dated.
Okay.
You know, I'm not even gonna say that. I was
Unc
always.
said, Unc laughing like you act like him or something.
You know what's crazy? You know, I used to joke and say, "Oh, I want to go back to Atlanta now."
Yeah.
Because to me now, some dudes probably would be like, "That was you,"
Yeah,
but they was
yeah.
feeling me because I just think my vibe is just unmatched. You know, so you know, I'm something that you could feel, not in just music,
Right.
but just period.
Right.
And I always got somebody to feel that side of me. You know, sometimes I would run from them because I didn't even feel that side of myself.
Right.
So I think that was more for me, was I was kind of playing with I was playing like I would ghost people and
Yeah.
all type of stuff because I didn't feel beautiful and I didn't feel worthy. So you know, I'm in just a space where I feel beautiful, I feel worthy, inside and out. So it's just a different vibe. But I always dated. I never ever did not get a guy I didn't want.
Really? That's crazy. I think that's
Is that facts?
I think that's dope. Like I think that's tight. But so like, do you? Is dating? Is it too occupying?
No.
No, because I just find for female artists that they seem to like have to pick. Like sometimes I see them get serious and the fucking career is over.
You know what it is? And I'm young, but I always been old in my mindset. At this point in my career, you know, you got to understand where I'm at. And I live a very unique life, and that's just what it is. And it's not for the weak.
Right.
And you know, it's just at this point you have to be willing to understand that. You know, I'm somebody, if I wanted whatever I want to do, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
You know, I always, you know, my family and friends like, how you gonna do that? I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
If I want to do it, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it. So for me, I can make time. You know, I think also they give this illusion that you're an artist 24/7, and I know when to clock out. So I love to sing and I love to create and, you know, all of that, but I have to live for the sake of me even creating anything. So you know, for me, it's just a thing of I'm with somebody who understands. You got to be with somebody who understands.
They all blue.
I'm just trying to stay racked up like you.
Put an 8 in a 1 and do magic. Tryna stretch hair on like elastic. Eco-friendly drug dealer, I don't waste no plastic. Use all 4 corners of that baggie. All I ever wanted was a bankroll. So I pull up on Champ before the bank close. Say no to stank hoes and stank clothes. No paramedic pimpin', nigga, we don't save hoes. Yeah, rest in peace to Lil'